in there, deep. Yummy, 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 good. So, there's a lot going on right now. We have full moon. That's a harvest time. I don't know if you know that, but that's the time when farmers used to see that the crops were most ready to harvest. But it's also in drumming circles and Wiccan circles, Native Americans. That's the time when you stop and you express gratitude. And if you look at your life, if I look at my life right now, there is so, so much to be grateful for. And this morning we were talking in our pre-service group. It's been called Course in Miracles, but it's kind of ebbing toward more of an open spiritual discussion, and you're always free to come and share and question and ponder and contemplate. And we were talking about what is life really? You know, what is your life? What is my life? You know, what are we all living here for? What's this really about? So Robert was talking about the Virgo moon, and I happened to read from someone who studies astrology and other spiritual things, and I'd like to just share with you something that I read. Perhaps you've been lost in the dark, watery depths amidst strangely glowing nightmare creatures, or swimming fast and free with a pod of dolphins, or breaching with a family of whales. Perhaps you've gotten stuck in stagnant seas of weeds and grass, or finally been tumbled to the distant shores. If you flowed with Pisces, watery energies, you might feel like your life is dissolving into a new unity of spirit. If you struggled against the tides, you might find yourself lost at sea. But wherever you find yourself on full moon night, tonight, take this magical moonlight into your heart and listen and look at what's there in the heart of you. And then she goes on to say, the Virgo full moon tells us you belong to yourself. Ponder that. You belong to yourself. As much as you are part of a whole, you are also a unique drop in the ocean of consciousness. What do you want to do with your drop? What does your drop want to do with you? We're all here on earth for the specific reason that's encoded within our soul, just as our physical body is encoded by our DNA. Each of you has a destiny. Each destiny is unique and yet part of the whole. Are you rebirthing the archetype of the mother because your society needs nurturing, love, and comfort? Are you transforming the archetype of the father into the wise guide and the caring protector and the truthful judge? Our world certainly needs more of these people. Do you find yourself incarnating the archetypal energy of the warrior, the healer, the artist, the bard, the leader, the priestess or priest? How about the conscious merchant, the courageous scout? If we are truly one universe, then our instructions are clear. Be your unique self. Who do you want to be? What are the seeds you want to plant? What's the life you want to live? What are the gifts you're here to give and share? This really is a time of contemplation. You know, spring officially begins on Thursday at about 10, again. I think when we enter into the winter, we are called to conserve our energies and go within. And I know we don't have a lot of winter in that sort of weather kind of way here. But I grew up in that. And you kind of hunker down and you read books and you cook soup and you sit by the fire and you savor life. You finish up old stuff that wasn't quite done. You look at life in a very refined and cherished way because there's not a lot going on to distract. And you're just present with yourself, your family, your inner guide, and the truth that you're here to live. And as we come into Lent, this is a Lenten season, and there are all cultures and all faiths have a time of this where what we do is we let go. Sometimes we call it repenting, which just means rethinking. Do you know that that's the root meaning of repent, is to think again, to think it over, to stop and reconsider. And so during this Lenten time where we simplify, and you could say prepare, in the Christian tradition for the coming of the Christ. Well, what does that mean, the resurrection? The reemergence of the renewing you. There is a way we need to forgive that which has gone before that we have not understood, or perhaps not cherished, or taken good care of. And there's a time also in this precious time for us to stop and ask, and what do we want to create anew? Who am I? And what is mine to do? One of my favorite questions, what is mine to do today? So then I look at us and I think, okay, so I heard all those archetypes and I don't know how to label myself. I've been different things at different times. So how do we know what's ours to do? And I'm going to invite you to be present with you. Present time right now. Yeah, the call is here. Be present. So when you're present with yourself, do you stop and look around at your cycles and seasons, the way it's been, and maybe even wishing you could return to an old way of being? Or are you ready to actually embrace where you are now? The little girl who comes into, or the little boy that comes into our space, and how do we treat, talk to, touch, be with that one? For the little child is also in us, is it not? Mm-hmm. And how do you interact with perhaps the noise that you hear? Maybe it came out of the blue, maybe it was even unwanted by you. So what seeds do you want to plant? What is yours to do there? We read about, thank you Betty, non-resistance this morning. Is it yours to resist? Is it yours to push away? Is it yours to make wrong and thus make yourself wrong as well? Or is it yours to somehow forgive, embrace, allow, let go, laugh, be with, enjoy? And then I think about the cycles and seasons of aging. I mean, I watched myself come up here and I don't walk the same way I used to walk. And I don't talk the way I used to talk. Am I willing to be with the I am that I am? Or am I somewhere that I was before that I'm still wishing I could take it back? Or are we willing to be that which we are right now with love, generosity, compassion, graciousness, singing a sweet song of love? I cherish the I am in me. And when I cherish the I am in me, do you know what I see in you? The precious I am in you. So what is mine to do? What are the seeds that I want to plant in me, in you, in all? I need to discern that now. And yeah, we have a garden, and I plant the garden, and that's kind of fun too. The dirty part, the messy part, and the muddy part, and all that stuff. But you know what's funny about the way I plant my garden? Actually, Gregory brought this up, and he told on you, Marcy, this morning.
And then it was in the song even.
I know. And I'm one of these characters, and I think we're all characters, by the way. And we change our parts along the way, but we're all characters. And the way I plant my garden is I sort of make up by what's available to me, and I think that's what they did in the old days, what I'm going to plant, because there it is, and I know that I like that, and I eat that, and I know that'll be eaten by my neighbor, and and that's what I pick up and plant, right? And when I plant, I just kind of give people, those little plant people, enough room so they'll have room to grow, because they're like little people, you know, they're like little energies, they have a life of their own. And then what I do is I dig a hole, not in that fancy way, guys, with my hands. Sorry, Robert puts out the trowel and all that stuff. I don't do that. That's how I do it. And then I put it in there as carefully as I can, because it's a delicate little plant, just like me, just like you. And I put it in the ground with my blessing, enjoyment, like a little kid, and I can't wait to see what it's going to be. If it's not meant to be with me, eaten by me, watched by me, enjoyed by me, do you know what it does? It disappears. Somebody else eats it, because I do organic, and everybody deserves to have a good piece of the pie.
Thank you. Yep.
And some of it disappears just because it doesn't want to live there. And I feel good that I've not made it be what I want it to be.
Yeah.
So I'm inviting you to set yourself free, to do what's yours to do, and watch and see what comes through. And if it's not meant to be, it won't grow. It won't show up. It will no longer be. So how about if we trust it's all working perfectly? Just do what's yours to do, and let it be as it is. There's another little piece I'm going to share, because I shared it actually on Friday night. And this is because so often in a place like this we talk about our philosophical stuff and about what God is and religion is, and lately I've been singing, this is the day the Lord has made. We sang it this morning, let's be glad and rejoice. And you know what I do? I sing, this is the day that love has made. I will rejoice and be glad. Same way with Surely a Presence too. So, what if this is the day, right here, right now, that I have made, but don't leave out yourself, because so have you, and it's your love that you're here to rejoice. It's your making up, using whatever words or sounds or feeling or tone that's true for you, that's right for you, that will resonate through you as you, and this is you. And this is what you're here to do. To be the love you are in exactly the way that's coming through you. So what if our religion was each other? If our practice was our life? If our prayer is in our words? And what if the temple was the earth? And if forests were our church? And if holy water, the rivers, the lakes, and oceans? What if meditation was our relationships? If the teacher was life itself? If wisdom was self-knowledge? And if love was the center of our being? blessed to be in your presence as the precious love you are.